There was no such thing as nothing. It didn't really come from nothing. It came from generations of wisdom and preparation. The best time to practice is before you're in trouble. I want you to imagine what this place would look like right now if we were here in the middle of one of those 2-foot dumps that we had, those beautiful big snowstorms that we had. Can you see this place when the wind is blowing the snow sideways and the snow's already deep? Everyone that has a strength of knowing how to get along with each other, they make it through real survival situations.
This water might look dirty, but if it's the only one you have,
Take it.
what are you going to do?
Drink it. Gotta be thankful.
Before you drink it,
Boil it.
I was told, talk to the water. Ask it not to hurt you.
Do not hurt me.
After that, give an offering. After you give an offering, then get something to drink.
What if you had gone on so long, or what if the survival challenge made itself apparent after it was dark enough or getting dark enough that making a fire wasn't going to be an option and finding water wasn't going to be an option? How are you just going to get through the night with what you have? Snow creates its own insulation and then doesn't drip on you. Rain's going to drip on you and make you cold and get you soaking wet, and then you'll hypotherm. Heat doesn't transfer through those flat pine needles and parts of bark and cone. You only need about 2 or 3 inches underneath you, really, of this kind of stuff to stay dry and warm. During the night, whoever's in charge or whoever's got their minds on it, you need to keep checking on their partners and seeing how they're doing. And when somebody's not doing so well, you put them in the middle. Now make a big airspace for your face, okay? Because we're going to cover you with pine needles. Would you tell us how it feels in there?
Warm.
Well, I propose that you could make it fine for a long, long time. And that if we saved our energy for later and didn't do this until we needed it, but knew how, that we would never have to do it probably even. But when we knew how, it'd be fun. What could you do with those pieces of trash? I could set up a Paiute deadfall, berry flavored trap sticks. How many pack rats would want to come through the night and figure out what that smell is? Could I tie those off to a tree, and as I've written a note somewhere and told them where I'm going next morning when I wake up, I'm going to go north up the wash to look for water. Where could I get a trap string? All you need's about 6 inches, and I think I got about 8 here. Some old lady's going to use me for a sheep. Herd me around with a stick and cut my hair once a year. Could I walk along in a rocky area and just leave a penny or a nickel everywhere I'm going? I would want to just grab one thing in this real environment. I would grab my water, and then I would grab my knife, and then I would grab that tarp. Everything you have is useful to do something with as your creativity increases. When I go hiking and don't have to carry a lot of stuff, and I can make my beds as I go, I feel a lot more free. I don't have to go back to REI to the store to buy my next stuff. I can just start making it as I go, and life gets more exciting. And then when somebody does lend me a backpack and a sleeping bag, I'm king. I'm rich. So thank you very much for coming to class. Happy people usually find the water. Happy people usually find the food because they're busy observing and being happy rather than being stressed out and scared.
You're letting the fire know that I'm learning about you, that I'm going to learn the songs, I'm learning the prayers. I'm working in that direction. If you know the songs for this thing, it'll always be there for you. This stuff has its place, and the ceremonial stuff, sacred stuff, has its place. And we can't forget either one of them, because both of them are here. Don't forget about your ancestors and stuff and what they have shown and what's still here. When you guys start to have blisters and stuff, honor those blisters. You work towards them. This is kind of like quick bursts, but isometrics too. We're using our body weight and compressing down, and the muscles have to hold us up. Once you do that type of exercise, it produces what's called growth hormone. When you eat, especially when you eat sugar, guess what happens to growth hormone? It goes to sleep. So when you guys are snacking on sugars all day and you want to build muscle, you're going to have a hard time. That's the truth. All those drinks, growth hormone gone. Insulin up. What does that mean? Big in the belly, Going to the doctor for a blood sugar problem. Sugar, fructose, monster drinks, cokes, pop, sodas. That's the main culprit.
We're water and we function by electrical impulses. And the electricity is formed by explosions of molecules hopping from one nerve cell to the other, from your brain out to your muscles and from your muscles back to your brain. And what fires them off is the explosion of 4 chemicals: sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium. Where do we get calcium from?
Greens.
Desert peoples invented hundreds of ways to make their water good for them by making all these teas. So are we going to drink water this camp?
Yes.
Are we going to waste water this camp? No. Are we going to have lots of electrolytes with our water?
Yes.
How are we going to stay warm at night? Drink water. How are we going to stay cool in the daytime? Drink water. Remember that that's who we are. We are water.